All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Tanner with NFL Broadcaster. I have Packers tight end here, Dom Dafney. Welcome to the stream, man. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to me. Um, how has your journey been in the NFL so far? Has it been anything you've expected or way different?
Um, it's honestly been what I expected because it was different. Like I honestly knew that it wasn't going to be like clean cut or anything that was just like a straight line. Like this happens, then this happens, and like I knew it was going to be an up and down kind of a crazy experience coming in the first year. So, I mean, that's how most of my football career is gone, if I'm being honest. So, I mean, I thought, why would this be any different? Trying to be in the NFL. So, I mean, no, it's been what I expected, but it's also been, a great experience, even though it's only been like a short year.
Yeah, definitely. You weren't originally on the Packers to begin with, were you?
Now I was with got signed with the Colts. I want to say that was August. It was like the last week and a half of training camp. So I was with them after I came for a workout, and that went well. So they signed me for camp, and then was with them for the rest of camp, and then got cut on that last the last cut before the season.
Yeah.
And then had a couple more workouts, one with the Patriots, and then one with the Packers, and then
cool.
got signed to practice squad October, I want to say.
Dang. So how was it like making like the 53-man roster, or like that's like that's separate from the practice squad, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how was it like on the Colts? I mean, did you have a favorite team growing up?
Growing up, my favorite team was the Panthers.
The Panthers. Okay. Did you have any workouts with them?
I did not.
Okay.
I wish.
What was your like feeling when the Packers wanted you to work out for them and you made their practice squad?
Well, obviously that was workout number 3. So I was still excited, but then I did a workout, worked out, but then I still got sent home after the workout. And then it was like a week and a half later, they called me after I was working out back in Iowa. And they were like, yeah, we want to sign you to the practice squad. We're going to fly you out tomorrow. We're going to quarantine you for a couple days, or like 5 days or whatever it was. That was like protocol at the time. And then you're going to be on the practice squad. So when I heard that, like I was literally at home, like just got finished working out. So, I mean, and it's funny because again, this was October of 2020. So like a lot of like candidate calls, like all for like the presidential stuff. So like I had ended the call at first because I thought it was just like one of the calls telling me like to go vote or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So then the same number called me back again. So I was like, okay, I should probably answer this because they don't usually call back when you
they have like a Wisconsin area code, and you're like, oh, yeah. Well.
I'm like, whoa, why would Wisconsin be calling me right now? But I hung up, and then they called right back. So I was like, okay, well, this is weird. So I answered it, and it was them. I was just like, wow, I almost fumbled a blessing right there because
oh my gosh,
thought it was like, go vote, like you need to go vote or whatever.
Yeah. I get calls like that every single day, just like these random spam calls.
Yeah, that's essentially what I thought it was. I thought it was just like spam, so I immediately hung up. I was with like my trainer, or one of my trainers at the time, and I told him, I'm like, yeah, the same number just called me again. He was like, okay, we'll just answer it, see who it is. So I was like, oh, well, all right. Well, then, yeah, of course, I was really excited after that. Went home, packed my bags really quick, went to bed that night, woke up, flew out. Yeah.
So your home is in Iowa?
Yeah, from West Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines. Okay, cool. I actually have I go to Iowa a lot. I have family near like Cedar Rapids. So I
You're
make
right.
that yeah, I make that trip a lot, and I have a little town called Keokuk. I don't know if you heard of it, but
And probably
it's
through
like
it a couple.
southwest corner, a little tiny town of like a
Yeah,
few thousand. But
I was much those. So
yeah, there is. But you didn't play college at Iowa, did you? You played at Indiana or
I played. So I started freshman year. I was at Iowa Western, and then
okay.
went to sophomore, junior, senior year, and then redshirt senior. I went to Indiana State.
Okay, cool.
So
How
yeah.
was that? How was that move going from Iowa to Indiana?
Um, I liked it. I enjoyed kind of playing. I mean, getting to play offense again was nice. Obviously, I was battling every year at Iowa to try to gain a spot on offense, and was only able to play special teams, which I felt like, I mean, that was still a good experience because that's one of the best special teams coaches in the country. To be able to learn and be under him for 3 years was
Yeah.
really cool because obviously I play all four special teams now, but then being able to kind of in my career showing like the full facet of myself, like being able to again still play all special teams, but then also finally be able to show like that what I was able to do on the offensive side. So, and it was just, I mean, it was just fun. It was, the guys were great, the coaches were great. It's
Yeah.
a small town called Terre Haute, Indiana. So
Dang.
it was fun. It was a fun experience.
That's great. I love I do better in like smaller towns and climates. That's just kind of what I'm used to. Um, but like where I live now, it's growing so fast. We're like the top fastest growing city in the nation right now. So it's like I'm kind of having to adjust to it. But I've been here my whole life, besides, back and forth to Iowa. Um, but I grew up a Green Bay Packers fan, and I don't know, just always have been. I don't have like family in Wisconsin or anything. It's just always been a Packers fan. I loved Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers, and just never lost connection, I guess, with the Packers.
Yeah, I feel like being from Iowa, since we don't really have our own team,
Right.
you got Kansas City, you got the Bears, the Packers. So you kind of have like a mix of everybody because we don't have like our own. So you'll get like bits and pieces of, oh,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
Packers, this area is Kansas City, this is the Bears, like near like the Cedar Rapids area is like all like a lot of Bears fans live over there.
Oh
So I mean,
man.
you see a
Yeah.
lot of it playing for the Packers now and coming back home. Get a lot of, yeah, or I've been a Packers fan my whole life, or I never really watched the Packers, but now that you're on the team, and then of course you get those Bear fans is like, like I hated seeing you score and make the tackle, but then as part of me was proud because you're from Iowa. So I mean, you
Right.
get a little bit of everything when you're from out there.
I took a trip to Minnesota and made the mistake. I was like, oh, 11 at the time, 11 or
Yeah.
12. I was packered out. I had my Packers hat on and like a hoodie. And I walk in, I think we went to the Mall of America there. And you walk in, and it's just like Viking stuff everywhere. And people are looking at me like, man, if this guy was like an adult, he'd be getting beat up right now. And I look at my mom and she's like, I don't know. She don't know much about football. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're in Minnesota. What am I doing? I was just seeing Viking stuff everywhere. I quickly just like turned my hat around and like, I was like, I'm going to get mugged.
I remember I think I just had like a t-shirt on, and then I'm like, I remember somebody said something, just like Packers, just zipped it up. I'm like, yeah, let me just relax. That was like
Yeah.
February. I just like I didn't even realize I just put a shirt on. It was just like going to get something to eat.
It's
Didn't even think
second nature. Yeah. Just,
Pack like yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I don't need to be hearing that 100 times because I know it's not going to stop.
yeah, it is. The funny thing is, like, I grew up, I grew up liking several teams. I was a big Peyton Manning fan, and my dad was too. So I love the Indianapolis Colts. So knowing that you played for the Colts too is pretty cool. Um, and then like the Packers, I always loved Brett Favre, and then Aaron Rodgers when he took over, I was like, this guy is something else. Uh, I know there's a lot of stuff surrounding him right now, and I'm not going to ask you questions or drill you on that, but I just want to know, like, what was it like being able to practice with Aaron Rodgers and catching a touchdown pass from him last season?
I mean, it was kind of a surreal when I like got to step back and think about it, because it's like, I mean, first of all, being able to practice with a guy like that every day
Yeah.
and be around, rub shoulders with guys like that who honestly will be in the Hall of Fame one day, in
Yeah.
my opinion. And I feel like a lot of people's opinion, and just to be able to just talk with a guy like that about football as well as just about life, and just have regular conversations, but then of course go out to practice and see like this guy who's, you know, kind of laid back and chill can just go out there and look like Aaron Rodgers, like what he does when he goes out there. Is, you know, the way he throws, the
It's
crazy
something else.
arm angles, and the way, and like everything you see in the game, like he does at practice, and it's just like second nature. Like we're all like making, you know, faces like okay, and he's trotting off to do it again, and we're just like, it's just different. So I mean, to be able to practice with a guy like that, and then be able to not only catch a touchdown in the NFL, but then it be receiving it from a future NFL Hall of Famer was just a great experience, and
Yeah.
definitely I'll obviously never forget that day, and just being able to just be in that moment and enjoy that moment when it was happening.
That's so cool. I mean, like, how's the climate and like the environment of being at Lambeau Field? I've never like, my dream is to go to Lambeau someday and watch Aaron Rodgers play before he retires, or like, you know, but I've never had the experience of like an NFL game. Well, I take that back. I actually went last summer to a Dallas game, but I'm not a Dallas fan. We just got some tickets. But I want to like, I've always wanted to experience Lambeau Field, and I've never been able to. It's like, how was the environment there?
It was great. It was funny because obviously a lot of my teammates have played here when it was like packed,
Hmm.
but then they were always telling me, they're like, dude, just wait until it gets packed, because obviously like when playoffs came around and like we finally got to have like the little bit of fans in there, and
Yeah.
they were loud. I'm gonna be honest, like there wasn't that many. Then they kept growing in numbers every game we played. And again, every time my teammates were like, hey, just wait until this place is like really, really packed. Like you'll feel the juice. He's like, I know you're enjoying it now based on the fact that there was nothing and now there's this. They were all just telling me just to wait on it. But even with the small amount of fans we did have up to the last game against Tampa, like it was like you could literally feel it in like your body when they're that loud when like something happens, and it was
Dang.
just a crazy experience. And it's like, it's just, I don't know, there's something different about Lambeau where it kind of has like just the history behind it, and like you
For
can
sure.
kind of tell. And like a lot of stadiums are like really big, so like you don't really feel like there's like a gap between the players and the fans, but it's like you can hear and you can feel like the energy from the fans like right on your shoulders. And some about that kind of just like gets you ready to play. Like as soon as you run out of the tunnel, you could like feel that, like
Oh
feel
man.
tempo behind you. You can feel the fans are behind you, ready for you to go out there and just perform. So kind of it's helpful, and you could feel the difference when there's nobody to where there's even like the only the amount we were able to have on that last game.
Honestly, I forgot that you were playing without fans there. Like, I didn't even think about that. I couldn't imagine the difference of, you know, how many fans could be there. I'm sure it was a huge impact. I mean, like, do you understand now, like why a player would want to spend their career there? Is it that kind of feeling?
Yeah, I think so. As well as I've kind of enjoyed with like the loosening of, you know, protocols in the facility as well as outside. Like I've
Yeah.
gotten to see like Green Bay, and like again, it's got that small town feel that reminds me of Terre Haute. Got like the small
Right.
town. You got like the little farmers market in downtown. You got like just everything is centered around Lambeau in a way, and I don't know. I've come to enjoy it for me, and I that for me is realize why people like want to stay here. Like it's kind of got the family atmosphere, like that small town where maybe a little bit bigger than everybody knows each other, but like everyone, like as soon as it's Sunday, everyone's hyped, like everyone's good best friends, just ready to go watch the Packers play. So it's kind of got that feel to it, and everyone's excited, and it's just all centered around Lamb.
Yeah. That's so cool. I can't like imagine. I've seen like pictures, of Green Bay and everything, but I don't know. I've just like there's like literally it's like in the middle of a neighborhood. It's really cool. It looks like the stadium is just surrounded by homes, by the fans.
Yeah.
And that's like I went to the Cowboys stadium, and it's just like, you're kind of in the middle of a big city, so it's really different.
Yeah.
And that was the first stadium I had actually ever seen in person. So I couldn't imagine like seeing Lambeau. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of similar. My first game I ever went to was Jacksonville.
Okay.
And that is kind of like the same. Like it's kind of the stadium, but then it's like really busy everywhere because Florida. So I mean,
yeah,
it's like there's people everywhere. There's like you're not too far from like probably like a really very populated area anywhere. So it's like it's just like I want to say like the casino type where it's like just there's a lot going on everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was my first game, and it was just like this big show is what it seemed like. It was just like this big performance everywhere.
You ever
And
feel like it's that's one of those moments where there's so much going on, and when you get home later on, you try to recall things, but you can't because it was like so much to take in.
yeah, it was funny because that game, that was my first game I ever went to see, and Mercedes was playing in that game.
Oh yeah.
So I was asking him because of course this is going to be a 16th, 17th season. So I was asking him like, when was your like ask him everything like because I was trying to tell him like, hey, like my first game I ever went to and watched was Jacksonville versus the Raiders. And he was like, oh, what year? And I couldn't even remember because I'm like, there was just so much going on with everything. And I was like, the thing I remember was like, you guys won, but there was like a fight like in the middle of the game. And I think like Warren Sapp got kicked out of the game or something like that for a altercation during the game. And I tried to tell him like, I got like, I think it was a Ricky Williams jersey or something.
Yeah.
During the game, he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like either my first or second year. I was like, well, yeah, that was the first NFL game I had ever seen. And he was like, that's crazy. Like, well, yeah, because
that is crazy.
My first NFL team that I'm on, like you're my teammate. So it's like, it kind of just came full circle in a way.
From 15 years ago.
Yeah.
The fact that he's still like playing the way he does.
Yeah.
I've seen like interviews of him, and I'm just watching him play, and I've seen like quotes, from him. Just seems like a really down to earth person, and just like a more very like very good attitude, like works hard. He's like, if you work hard at it and just stay healthy, you can play as long as you want kind of guy.
Yeah. He's definitely, as I've gotten to, everywhere like open up a little bit more, and especially in the tight end room, like it's kind of like, I guess you could say like a safe space where we could just, be ourselves. You get to know guys more. And that's definitely a guy who's like, I listen to absolutely everything he says when he speaks. I mean, how do you not listen? Like he's got like
For real. Yeah.
He's got like the all state Farm voice. Like that's really hear it. Like
That's
he's
funny.
just so much wisdom. He's seen a lot. He's been through a lot. And, he's just a guy you can rely on whether it's on or off the field, whether it's just a guy you want to ask questions about this play, that play, where to place your hands on pass protection, or how to head or feet work right on inside outside zone, or whether you just ask him a question about like, like what are you doing off the field? It's just like to get you to year 16. Like he's just like you could honestly come to him or ask him about anything, and he'd like sit down and be real with you. And it was honestly a great opportunity to get to spend this last weekend with him up in Nashville and just be able to just hang out outside of the facility. Cause that was one thing I had told him. I'm like, I definitely enjoy Lambeau and I enjoy the whole process, but I just felt like one thing was missing last year was just the fact that we couldn't like hang out as a team, like outside of like, and he was like, we're definitely going to fix that this year. Like we're going to go out to dinner and like hang out at somebody's house, like at least once or twice a week. And I'm like, I feel like that just the camaraderie part was missing outside of the facility. Obviously we're hanging out with each other. He's definitely a guy that I plan to lean on for as long as he's here and as long as I'm here, and even after that, just to kind of get just wisdom and just advice.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of like he's almost like, I don't want to compare him to another player because he is like his own breed. He's been in the league for so long. I feel like he's always been used in like run and pass protection, but he's so underrated as like a receiving tight end too. Like, I don't remember seeing him drop a pass in the last 2 or 3 years he's been in Green Bay. I didn't get to watch him a lot in Jacksonville. I was never like a big fan, but I always knew he played there. But it's almost like he's like an Antonio Gates of that, of the tight end room, or like, not comparing him to Antonio Gates, but like just for like the length of their careers. I feel like Gates played for a long time and was consistent the entire time he played.
Yeah.
And just,
I just refer to him as Yoda.
Just wise,
but just still just competes at the same he always has, and probably will until he decides one day that he doesn't want to do it anymore.
What's his so his football IQ it must be off the charts, and right?
Yeah, it's I honestly just sit in the back of the room in our tight end room and just try to pick up on anything and everything that he says, write it down, because I know he's got a lot of information that could be useful, whether it's like you said, like pass pro in the run game, receiver wise. I mean, he's been through a lot and he's performed at a high level for a long time. So he's definitely a guy that I'm jotting down notes anytime he speaks.
That's smart. That's probably the best thing you could do, honestly. I mean, you'd look back and someday you'd be like, I wish I'd wrote that down, but now you have. So that's exactly what you need to be doing. I have like one more question, then I can let you go. I know you're busy. I want to know like about that NFC Championship game. Like, what was it like playing against a guy like Tom Brady? Like, did you get to meet him after the game or anything? Did they allow you to? Which I'm sure for them that was a big win. So I'm sure you guys kind of just walked off the field or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't really trying to shake hands.
Yeah.
I remember I said hello to Tristan Wirfs and Anthony Nelson, because obviously 2 Iowa guys. And,
yep.
Obviously Iowa guys who went to Iowa and are from Iowa. Me and Anthony have competed against each other since we were in like the 6th grade.
Dang.
And
that's awesome. Obviously
met Tristan up at Iowa. So just told him congratulations, win the next game. And then I just went inside the locker room.
Right. I don't blame you there. That's a big game. Just was the environment like crazy for that game? Did you feel any different than like a normal regular season game? Were you more nervous or were you locked in and focused?
I think I don't know. I would say I was probably maybe a little nervous, like running out, just because it was like I hadn't gotten to play them yet.
Right.
We played them earlier in the season, and obviously that game went how that game went. So I guess maybe there was a little nervousness because it was playoffs and it was like one game for the Super Bowl. But then like after the kickoff, I say I was honestly probably more locked in than I had been in a while, just because I was like, it was just so much fun playing. I was just trying to see everything that was going on and
just enjoying it
and enjoy it. Exactly. Because I mean, a lot of people get to an NFC championship game like their first year or at all. So, I mean, just there and playing against a guy like Tom Brady, playing against a really good team like Tampa Bay, like I was honestly locked in the whole game watching whether we were on offense or defense, just trying to enjoy the game in the best seats possible, just right on the sideline. So it was great. I mean, obviously there was energy everywhere.
Yeah.
Stadium was rocking the whole time. We were energetic the whole game and knew it was going to be down to the wire because we played each other earlier, and the second game was all about, adjustments based on the first game.
Yep.
It was going to be a tight game.
Yeah.
So we were locked in the whole time and really focused, and obviously the way it ended wasn't the way we wanted to end. But
me either.
It was still definitely a great experience.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you were able to like focus in. I mean, you got nerves of steel compared to me then, because I mean, once you get surreal.
Once you get like that first series out of the way, like you're usually pretty solid. And especially because it was like, I don't know, the energy you get from the rest of your team was like that helps you as well. It's just the energy and confidence you get from the rest of the rest of your team and your coaches that kind of like washes the nerves away and just kind of gets you focused. Like, all right, my teammates believe in me. They believe I belong here. We're all trying to go for the same goal, and we want to like go to the next game and be able to try and lift the Lombardi Trophy. So that pushed away a lot of nerves and kind of helped me focus on what needed to be done.
Who was like the guy who's the player always on the sideline? Like if someone gets their head down, who's the guy that always comes around and tries to pump the players back up and get you back in the game? Was there ever situations like that? Like always energetic,
I feel like there's not the thing about the team last year is there wasn't just one. There at least one or two guys in every position group were like there for you. Obviously 12 was walking up and down the sideline the whole time, letting people know. Our coaches, LaFleur was. And I know one guy I look for a lot is Rob and Aaron Jones. Because coming in, when I first came in, those guys instilled a lot of confidence in me. They're just like, dude, like you belong here, like you're here, so you might as well just ball out. And then like you wouldn't be here if they didn't believe in you, and we believe in you. So like just play with confidence to get in your playbook and just ball out and do what you know you can. So
that's awesome.
Looked for those two a lot because as soon as I got here, they were extremely helpful with just that confidence. Cause I mean, I feel like that's like very like one of the most important things at playing at this level is you just have to believe that you can play with anybody and everybody that's up here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
As soon as you don't believe that, then I mean, you kind of lost right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're there for a reason. That's true. I mean, you're like literally in professional football. I mean, not every athlete, not every football player gets there. So, I mean, you're there for a reason. So that's good that they have that mindset and help you with that.
Yeah. It's been good. That's why I'm excited for year two.
I am too. I'm excited to watch you play. I mean, I can never wait for Packer football to come back around. So I'm always paying attention to it.
Yeah, that's why I was so anxious to get back for OTAs, and now I'm kind of anxious to get back for camp and just get back to playing football every day.
Yeah, man. I know you're busy. I'll let you go. I really appreciate your time. You're really like honest and thorough with me. So that means a lot to me. And I just love to chat with you maybe again before the season starts, or maybe during the season, or just whenever you have time, just let me know. And that'd be really great.
All right. Sounds good with me.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem.